Good evening. Good evening. Hope all is well. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear me all right. Put a two in the chat if you cannot hear me. How you guys doing? Hope all is well. Happy weekend. Hope everyone's having a great weekend tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Wine and FaceTime. It has been a while since I have went live. I'm gonna, fix my video pretty soon. But thank you guys for popping in again. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a two in the chat if you cannot hear me. I'm not using my microphone, so I'm just really not sure if you guys can hear me or not. So you can hear me, great. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Uncommon Sense with Jose and Grown for being the first one here. Shout out to the AC Butter. Hey boo. Shout out to everyone who's watching live, everyone who'll catch us in a replay. It's your girl Kashal, aka KFIT, here with another episode of Wine and FaceTime. It is already 15 episodes. Today I decided to go live because it's been a while since I have been live. At some point, I will show my pretty face. I did a little bit of beat to my face real quick because I have to go show my face for you guys. But how you guys doing out there? Hope all is well. Hope you guys having a great weekend. Tonight I want to do a part 2 to why women cheat, and I am gonna definitely throw a link in the chat to part 1's episode of why women cheat as well. Not that I expect you guys to watch it right now and get back to me, but just saying if you guys want to catch it and just see where part 2 is coming from, you guys can get that era and get that feel. First things first, part 1 is really short. It's about maybe 20, 30 minutes long. It's not really that long, anything like that. So it'll be a quick view to watch it. You can definitely put the closed caption on to make it go a little bit faster, everything like that. But part 2, I just want to pretty much, have people be able to come in, participate, put their views, how they feel about it, and give their perspective on why they feel women cheat. There is no right or wrong reason to do this. We see cheating everywhere, from TV, in our homes, personal environments and spaces. We all know that happens. There's not much that can, you can do about that. So I'm gonna try to drop the link to last week's channel episode, not channel, last week's episode. I did a part 1 closed panel just to talk about my personal views and opinions. So definitely catch that. You know what I'm saying? When you get a chance, it's really short, like I said, and you'll hear me talking about why I think women cheat, my perspective. But tonight is not about me. Tonight's about an open panel of people to come in, pull up, put their tea, their 2 cents, their 3 cents on why they think that is. So, I'm talking a lot right now, and I definitely want to put a quick ad up, but I'll be right back with you guys. Just a really quick ad to show you people who I be. Be right back, y'all.
Okay. I work out all the time. I can do lots of different moves. Have never been able to do one full push-up.
Push-ups are the best way to start your day.
I will try one standard push-up.
It's not the best push-up, but I can get down and get back up.
That is me. That is my most memorable point of, my fitness career, where I got an opportunity with Self Magazine to do a video shoot with 60 ways people do exercises the wrong way. Shout out to my homegirl, Brandy Thomas, that got me that opportunity to be able to be in Self Magazine, 60 ways people do exercises the wrong way. And I definitely did the plie wrong. I definitely did the downward dog wrong. I definitely, did some things wrong, but we all do some things wrong, but that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. Tonight is about the big main topic. So, you guys, can you relate to tonight's conversation? What do you think? Why do women cheat? Did you catch last week's episode? If not, again, the link is above in the chat. You can catch that episode whenever you get a chance. You can see why I said I think women cheat. And tonight I'm going to hear from all the men. I see a lot of men strong in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? In here, you want pretty much put their perspective out on their own, why they think women do what they do. So I'm here for it all. I don't want no smoke. Full disclaimer in effect for tonight's episode. I'll definitely put that in the description of this YouTube after we end this show tonight. But I want to hear from the fellas, what y'all think. Next week I'm going to definitely do another episode of Wine and FaceTime, and I'm going to talk about the opposite, why men cheat. I want to talk about these conversations because, again, we see a lot in the media, in the world, in our own household, at work, with neighbors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm going to follow it up with another open panel the following week, pretty much letting everyone join in on the open panel like tonight to talk about the perspective of why men cheat. So, we did the women first, then it'll be the men, and that's how we're going to do it. So it was good chat. Shout out to Irby Fatal. How you doing? Thank you for pulling up, coming through. I really appreciate you. Definitely want to shout you out. Thanks for stopping by. So what do you guys think about this conversation? You know, I'm gonna definitely drop the link to the chat in a few. Yeah, I want to get into this. Give me a little sip of something to drink. Hope you guys are doing good, y'all. And I'm gonna definitely let y'all see my face as well. When I get to a certain amount of followers and when I get to a certain amount of live streamers who are actually watching me, I'm gonna start to switch up to some different things. I want to throw my Cash App handle, my Venmo, my PayPal handle out there. Please support your girl's channel. It's your girl Michelle, aka KFIT. We're gonna chop it up tonight, you know. That's my little sip. So do y'all want to come up on the panel? Let me know. Y'all want to come up? Y'all want to spit your perspective? Let me know what y'all think about tonight's conversation. I'm going to definitely get some music going in the back again because my fish tank is so loud. I hear the fish water aquarium behind me and I'm kind of annoyed by that. So give me a moment, guys. I haven't been live in a while. So one moment, un momento. I love the lo-fi music for some reason. I really love this music. Got this a little bit. Okay, there we go. I like that right there. I know you coming up, Rakim. I know you coming up. I know you going to put it down. You're going to give us that Taurus energy attitude, and I love it. And I know Jose is coming up as well. Definitely, I know Jose is coming up. Before I get into the main tea, I want to have a little chit chat with you guys. I've been trying to do something different on my streams. You guys know I'm breaking up my channel. I have 3 new channels coming out. I have a hair channel, a makeup channel, the fitness journey channel, and I'm gonna probably delete some of my playlists. You know, I want to make everything make sense, and you know, it is what it is. But before I get any further into the conversation, I want to send a big shout out to all my day one subscribers, people who've been rocking on me from day one to now. Like, I like her style, I like her energy, I like her fit, her feel, what she's doing, what she represents. And y'all know I'm from NYC, baby. And I definitely want to give a big shout out to the new sub, people who subbing me because they saw my shorts. They follow me on IG. They see my workouts. They see my fitness journey. They like what I do. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, but y'all right here with me in New York City vibing out. And it's a great conversation for tonight. I know a lot of people have a lot to say. I had a little bit to say because I wanted to make more about tonight. And yeah, that's really what it is. So your girl out here recovering, you know, I got a stress fracture on my foot. Got the whole blood pressure situation going on, but that ain't gonna stop me. Got the new job coming up. Y'all know I got that new opportunity. I'm happy about that. Life is good, you know, the good comes with the bad and all of that. But I'm gonna drop the link pretty soon. Just want to see who's vibing out with me. I got 5 people watching. That means I should at least have 5 likes on the stream. Please make sure you like when you come into the door. Boom, pow. That's what it is. So let me drop this link right now. Doki. Let's get this popping. Boom. The link to the chat has been dropped. I am now ready to get into this conversation. It's your girl Kishelle here with another conversation. You know, why do women cheat? Why do we do it? Why do women go to that extent? That's what we're talking about tonight. Please pop in, pull up, you know, pull your 2 cents in. How you feel about this? What you think? For me, as I said last week when I was talking about this, Dolo, I feel like women cheat for many reasons. Let me let y'all see my face real quick. Hold on. And my baby hair's a little bit laid. They're kind of frizzed out or whatever. Real quick, before I get to this main topic real quick too, I was just watching some more on Netflix and she was talking about there should be a limitation to baby hairs when it comes to women in age. So, you know, I'm 40, so I'm like, all right, I do got some little grays coming in. She's like, if you got gray hair, you shouldn't have baby hairs. If you don't have a baby, you shouldn't have baby hairs. So I'm like, is she talking to me? Could she be talking to me? I don't know, but this is how your girl looking today. You know, baby hairs giving up on me. It is what it is. But I do have my first guest. I'm so excited. I have a person live, ready in the back, you know, trying to pull up on me and spit his tea on what he thinks about the conversation tonight. And I'm so excited to have him. You guys know him very well. I know him very well. He's a great host. He has a channel as well. You might have known him for his channel he calls Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. I'm going to welcome in my first guest, Mr. Jose Negron. How are you, Mr. Jose?
Well, good evening, Keisha. First of all, thank you for allowing me on your platform. And a huge shout out for all the success that you have achieved. You're well on your way to reach the 200 sub mark.
I know, and I just really, stop putting, stress on myself like it'll happen, but it's happening faster than I expected, so I'm grateful, humbly, humbly grateful. So how are you? How's your weekend tonight?
Yeah. Well, you know, well, first of all, tonight is, it's an unusual night because I'm not working overtime, so I get to sleep in my own bed tonight, which is a good thing. As far as the topic itself, there are many reasons why women cheat. Some of it could be because problems and issues with the men in their lives. So others, it could be there's something that's missing in their life, and they think they could always do better. Unfortunately, some women, not all, but some, always think they can do better, and sometimes they just cheat to try to find something better, or just to create some sort of excitement and some sense of increasing their self-esteem.
Very true. I have another guest popping in on the panel right now. I want you guys to welcome for Chi-Town, Mr. Rakim, the AC Flutter. How you doing?
Hey, shout out to Cashel. Happy early birthday, girl. How you been?
Good, good, good. Jose just dropped a couple cents on his view of why he thinks women cheat, and I know you got a lot to say, and I know Jose got some more to say. So, what you think about the topic for tonight? What you think? Why women cheat?
Yeah, I definitely got a lot to say. So let me start off. Let me get myself right. Let me clear my throat.
Hold on, before you get into it, I want to make sure Jose don't got a couple more coins to add this conversation because I know a lot of people gonna have a lot to say. So Jose, you want to add anything more to why you feel women cheat?
Well, to be perfectly honest, you can get 10 women who are cheated, and you're going to get 10 different explanations to the why. Unfortunately, some women don't practice what's called accountability for their actions. Now, mind you, I'm saying some. So tonight, what I'm saying is going to be coming in with some disclaimers because I don't want to paint all women in the same light. I'm gonna have Rakim say his piece regarding what is his perspective.
Understood. Definitely understood. Definitely respected. So, Rakim, you got the mic. You know what I'm saying? What you think?
Well, we got to look at we gotta take a lot of things into accountability. Into account. Today is a different era. Is more sexually liberated, where a lot of women are moving. Some women are moving like the worst of men in today's society. I'm not just men, but the worst of men, where they simply just some women just cheat because they don't feel that they attach in this day and age with a lot of people in generation not the millennials, but what's the generation after that? Generation Z, and some millennials too, where they don't feel like they're attached um to men. They feel like they have more options, where they are looking for men for different things. He the one that got the money over here. He caters to my feelings over here. He I can manipulate him to come and do something for me. So you have like a multitude of reasons why women cheat. Some women say it's because, to get back at their exes or to get back at who they're with. So they cheated because he cheated. Some women cheat for financial reasons. They run across the dude they got, maybe he's in a better financial position than who they're dealing with, and he's able to provide them more. So they think that's a better option. And then you got just some women out there that are just sexually promiscuous. They slept with him because they thought he was cute and they wasn't giving a damn about who they laid up, who they was laying next to every night. So it's a multitude of reasons, but I think a common what's the word that I'm looking for? A common play on that is that women do is certain women like to, pretty much gaslight the situation and put the blame back on the men that they cheated on and say, well, if you was doing this. Well, before that, that's if you catch them, because there's certain women out there that like to lie, and they'll continue to lie until you have to catch them red-handed. Then once you catch them red-handed, then they'll gaslight and try to say, oh, I did this because of you. You did this, and I just wasn't interested in all of that. So it's a multitude of reasons, and it doesn't help that society is pushing this narrative of sexual liberation, where women they go out there and they deal with a multitude of dudes, and and it's just like they got this mindset that they're going to do that and it's not going to have lasting effects. That doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Like today's generation prior to, the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, there were many reasons why, women, had affairs or, cheated for whatever reason. In my last week's stream, I was pretty much talking about, from what I've seen around me, environment, people I know, whatever the case is, why they have done the things they've done. And a lot of times, it's because one, not to sound cocky or anything like that, they can get away with it. Sometimes, a woman may be the aggressor in the relationship. She may wear the pants and she may call the shots, pay the bills, make all the money. And, she may be the man in the relationship. And, not to say that that's what all men do, but, she may be the dominant and she feels like, she calls the shots. Sometimes, it's because they can get away with it and they don't have an aggressive, assertive man that's going to check them or put hands and feet on them or, make them feel like it's disrespectful. Or sometimes, it's from the environment, where they come from, what they've seen, what they've known, it's not abnormal. It's not something that's cliche they've seen in all their lives. Or sometimes it's just because, like you said, a man did it, so now the woman wants to do it. Or, they may be in a phase of their life where, they're not really ready to be serious. They're in the whole phase or the 20 phase or the young phase where, they're not taking anything seriously. So there's a plethora of reasons why women do it. And none of them are the greatest reasons or the best reason or the respectable reason or the mature reason. They're always possibly an immature reason why they're happening to the most extent. But there's so many reasons. There's not even like, a top 10 reason. Like the list can be very, very long.
Absolutely. And it's just that like now, we live in an era where a woman can have multiple dudes in her phone and still be, in a relationship with, this guy, and this guy, in a lot of cases, he may not even know, but she can be dealing with an ex and be in a brand new relationship. And he may not even know. Yeah, I think just like with a lot of women today, they're more, promiscuous. And then I don't know, certain women, of course, not all, but certain women have this notion where they think men are stupid. And a lot of the times they may be dealing with one that's stupid, because if you notice, a lot of the times if they're dealing with the man that they feel that's one step ahead of them, some women don't like that, because a woman depends on being able to be cunning and manipulative to stay one step ahead of men. That's kind of like their power. So when you can, like, when she realized that you quick with it too, and you able to catch on to certain things, and they don't really like that. And so,
not necessarily. I think it depends on the age of the woman. Probably a more seasoned woman, like, oh,
that's true.
A younger woman in her 20s probably wouldn't really be looking at it like that. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It depends on the age. My personal opinion, like based off my experience, like I've dealt with women where, like, it was cool for a minute, but when they realized I wasn't the type of person they can really manipulate or control, then that's when it went left, because they're like, oh, I can't really, get one over on him, or he's not going to tolerate this, or he's not going to tolerate that. So
certain women went for dudes like they like those dudes in the beginning that they can control, that's not really doing much or not trying to build much, but after a while that gets tiring. And then once it gets tiring, they forget why they picked the dude in the first place. They picked him for that reason, but then if it's like bills that need to be paid or certain things that need to be taken care of and he's not contributing and he's just kind of like a bum, then that calls for their eyes to venture off into other directions.
Yes, like Jose, you'd like to add anything to the conversation at this point?
Well, okay, as I stated before, there are many reasons why women cheat, and then you have to factor in that there, unfortunately, there are women that don't take accountability for their actions. I mean, the first thing that they do if they get caught cheating, oh, because this my man did this, or he didn't do that, or he did this in the third. Okay, mind you, no one actually took a female and obligate her to open her legs to another man. She decided, for whatever reason, whatever explanation, whatever cause, another man to get that D.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. Like I admit I've made some mistakes like that in the younger ages, the teenagers in the early 20s, like, oh, I can do this, I can be cold hearted, I can be like a man, I don't have feelings, I can be emotionless. And it's kind of not true. With women, I think we're just not built that way. I think Denise told me that as well in one of her streams. Women, we're just not, genetically built that way. That's just not in us or whatever the case is. But there are women that do act like the man eater women that act like they don't have feelings. But I think for a lot of women, we really can't be that way and have it all together and not, be thinking crazy about ourselves at the end of the day. But I think it really depends on, the kind of woman we're talking about. There's so many different type of women. We're not just talking about, the damsel in distress or the feminine women. They're the women that are just as strong as dudes, or there's the lesbian women or AGs, or what the list goes on with the type of women we got out here. You know what I'm saying? And it don't got to be a woman on man situation. It can be a woman on woman situation too. Like, why does one woman leave another woman? Like, what is the main reason? It's not necessarily about a man and a woman relationship. In any situation with a woman, like, why is she cheating?
Well, I think what comes to mind is the following. If you are in a relationship, whether it be heterosexual or homosexual or bisexual or what have you, if there's issues in the relationship, you have two options. One option is try to do what you can and see if those issues can be resolved. If you're unprepared to resolve those issues, or you're in a situation where your partner is unwilling to resolve or change, the best thing for you to do is just both of you go their separate ways and find someone else that you're more compatible. Unfortunately, we live in a day where people want to have their cake and eat it too. People want to have a relationship and have a side piece, whether it be male or female, and they think it's perfectly okay. The problem is when you do that, you seriously destroy something which is called trust. So now that you've been found out that you've been unfaithful, there's always going to be the lingering doubt is that are you going to be faithful going forward, or are you going to continue to cheat? And say some people that can't get past the fact that their partner was unfaithful.
Yeah, that's really tough. I think for some women we're visual and we hold things inside, and we can replay things, like a VHS or a DVD or a movie or your DVR set or whatever the case is. So, when you're really all in with someone and you think about, someone touching someone in a way that you like to be touched or whatever, it's emotional and mentally a lot to take in, especially if you have great chemistry with that person, or that person is somebody you see yourself building with, having a future with, and you just knowing someone had a taste or a sample of that. It kind of messes with the ego. I think just like on the men's side too, when a man knows another man has been with his wife or his woman or his partner, it's something about the man's psyche that is hard for him to, get over it, as far as not get over it, but to to move on and not just keep lingering on to that, even when he says, I forgive and I forget, type of thing. Something about the psyche, I think, for some people.
Yeah, like with men, of course, men, we're very territorial.
And
So
unfortunately,
we look at that like as, that's my woman. That's my legs. Those are my breasts. Those are my curves. And I've had another man entering my woman, especially if, let's say, it may be somebody that he's familiar with, or somebody from around the way that he may have heard of or known. That does a lot to a man, especially with women being emotional. They say that, I don't know how true this is because I'm not a big person into spirituality, but they say that women, you know, attach onto certain characteristics from men that she sleep with, like soul ties. So if you're constantly, you know, uh, having intimate intercourse with certain men, you can't just be emotional like that. And a lot of the times, the woman that she's cheating, I mean, the man that she's cheating with, a lot of the times too, she end up wanting to, be with that man and leave her man that she was currently with behind. You know.
and
Yeah.
there's also another issue regarding sexually transmitted diseases. If the person who's cheating decided not to engage in activity without protection, so now not only do you risk getting pregnant, but you risk getting an STD, and you're bringing it home to your spouse. And then you decide to engage in intercourse with your spouse, while you're having this STD. Now he's infected, which makes it even worse. So first of all, not only had you betrayed the trust that's within a relationship, whether it be in a long-term relationship or a marriage, you're also putting your health and the health of the spouse in danger as well.
I agree. When you're in a serious relationship or a long term relationship, I'm assume most people don't use contraceptives, because you're committed to that one person. You assume that one person's committed to you. So you feel kind of comfortable putting your mouth in places and, doing things that without worrying about the consequences, because you feel like, you have a trust with that person, you had a conversation, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it's crazy to know in 2023, these youngsters, this new generation of people, kids and everything, like there is a no condom rule. Like no one uses condoms. That's why there's like so many babies out here, and so many people having, abortions and giving away babies, and just having unplanned pregnancies because contraceptives are not even enforced the way they were back in the 90s and the 2000s with TLC wearing like the condoms on their clothes, and talking about STDs and videos and stuff like that. Like there's no one really pushing safe sex so much. You see more commercials about COVID and the booster than you do see about safe sex. And we definitely know safe sex definitely needs to be a priority because of all the things coming out, in the past and current, monkeypox, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And again, full disclaimer in this video, definitely not coming at anybody, individual group or anything like that. But safe sex, I feel like it's not even practiced in 2023 at all.
You know what? Part of the problem is that you have people growing up without a sense of accountability. Okay, so when that sense of accountability is not present, so therefore you're not going to be thinking about in terms of, okay, I need to protect my body from any STDs or what have you, or I need to protect. I need to, if I'm in a long-term relationship, to remain faithful to my partner, because unfortunately for many people, and I don't want to say all young people, but as a good proportion of these young people do not have do not believe in accountability for their actions.
It's crazy. Like, for me, like, I really feel like I am so scared to be promiscuous or out here, living a city girl, best girl life out here trying to date or have casual sex with anybody because it's just too much at risk. And I know we only got one life to live. We ain't no fucking feline cats out here. We ain't got no 9 lives. I think it's just like way too risky to be having like promiscuous, unprotected sex out here in 2023 with so much that's going on. Like, yeah, you can have a person court you, take you to dinner, and pay for all the drinks, pay for all the movies, and pay for all the all the dates you have and everything. But still, at what well, now it seems like there is no rules like that. But when I was coming up, there was a courtship. There was a time where you felt like you could go through the process of getting to unprotected sex. It wasn't every person you met you had sex with. All right, we ain't wearing a condom. It was like a rule book, like a holy grail thing kind of to it. It was steps. You had to test the relationships in the water, meet the family, meet the friends, put some time and put some work in before you thought about taking a condom or before you even thought about having unprotected sex or, anything. It was just so different from my upbringing to now. Like, now, boy, listen, I guess people got condoms on the shelves and there's still ain't nobody buying them.
Well, you see, the difference with you, Keisha, is that you have accountability for your actions. So therefore, you're going to think about your actions very carefully. You're not just going to, how can I say, engage in adult activity the first night. You're going to try to get to know whoever it is that wishes to to get into a relationship with you, which is logical. But again, it is because you have a thing called accountability. That's something that's lacking on many people's lives.
Absolutely. Rakim, you would like to add to the conversation? I thought you was going to unmute yourself at one point.
Yeah, like and I think I just covered this in a conversation earlier, and it's all about the agenda that's being pushed. It's like no discipline, no type of morality or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, it was like that when we were younger to an extent, but people was a little bit more discreet about it. You had women that was sleeping around, but it wasn't, maybe it was because it wasn't social media as heavy back then, but a woman would be ready to fight you if you called her, if you called her a hoe or anything like that. Or even if she might have been doing that, she'll be ready to fight. But now you see a lot of young ladies wear that so proudly. Yeah, I'm out here hoeing, or it's my hoe phase, and different things like that. And they actually out here and they're not practicing any type of discipline. And part of it comes from the previous generation who's not, pretty much putting these kids up on game and allowing them to make the same mistakes that a lot of the people in the previous generation made. So between that, the media programming and them telling them, listening to the city girls, listening to what's that other girl name?
So many of them, Lotto, Nicki Minaj,
Nicki Minaj,
Cardi B,
girl, Cardi B. What's the one girl that be singing? What's her name?
And she doesn't rap at all?
Nah. She just recently had a baby and was complaining about her baby father.
Oh, Summer Walker.
You got Summer Walker. You got Meg Thee Stallion, and I think I can speak for both of us when we say we come up in a time period where the raunchiest we had was Lil Kim, but these chicks blow Lil Kim out the water. Because Lil Kim still has some substance with her rhyming and different things like that. But we come from the era when we was growing up. MC Light, Salt and Pepper was a little bit explicit, but not like that. No, they wasn't out there, different things like that. I mean, you don't even hear R&B songs talking about love anymore. Even R&B songs are trying to sound like, one night stands and no emotions and no feelings. Back in the day, we had Jodeci and Vogue and, After Seven and like Johnny Gill and all of these other artists.
Silk and
Blackstreet,
Brown, Johnny Gill, Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, all that love stuff.
So it's not like, so we on a completely different wavelength, and people were still doing their thing then. A lot of people was doing their thing then, and what Jose spoke about earlier, as far as people spreading diseases, and it's happening on both ends. But we never really hear talk about, with women, how certain women get STDs and spread them on to their spouses or their significant others. You even got chicks going overseas and getting STDs and coming back and putting it on their spouse, and then turn around and say the same spouse that they gave it to them. So it's a grimy game out here, and people need to be very aware. And it's a lot of women, and certain women just want to cheat. You got certain women that just want to look for a reason to cheat because they just wanted to cheat, or they may have girlfriends that's out there doing their thing, and their girlfriends is encouraging, girl, like he ain't gonna find out. You better do. I'm gonna call Dante. I'm gonna hook you up with him. Don't worry about it. Davon ain't gonna find out. It's a lot of that going on too. So.
Yeah, in my day, it was definitely like that. Like in my earlier 20s and teens, whatever the case, it was always the girlfriends that had, the guy who had all the money and the club, or, he had something where bring your friends, all your friends get in for free type of, it was always those kind of offers, always those kind of situations, all the time. There's always a time where the girl done left you and you alone, and now she with the dude that got y'all in for free. Now everybody's sitting in the back, and now he got a group of friends that looking at y'all like lunch meat. And they like looking at you like, you gonna do what they was doing? Like, no, we're just the friends. We're not doing what she's doing. We don't know what she's doing. We just know we here for free, and it ain't that kind of party. Birds of a feather do not flock together. We together, but we ain't flocking together, okay? So yeah, that happens a lot too, because eventually after a couple of times of going out, eventually like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And shit happens, like those immature decisions, those young-minded decisions, those mistakes you make when in the 20s, when it's like, all right, I ain't married, I ain't got kids, I ain't committed, it ain't that bad. Those are not the exceptions, but those are some of the things I definitely saw back around my time, because again, some people got those connections where, you don't know what's going to go out. When you go out sometimes, it ain't we just going out. Then there's breakfast, then there's dinner, then there's somebody's house you're going back to. And after a while, people start disappearing and stuff. I'm like, hey, where everybody going? And all of a sudden, it's a situation, so there's many reasons why it happens. There's not just, oh, I'm unhappy, he can't satisfy me sexually, but that'd be something too. Some women really feel like, you know what, I love my husband, he's a provider, he's great with my kids, or he pays all the bills, but he just doesn't measure up in the bedroom. And some women feel like, you know what, I'm not going to leave him for that. I'm going to stay by his side. I'm going to stay with him. I'm going to get a toy, TMI full disclaimer for this video, or I'm going to find me a little young boy or whatever that's going to, itch my scratch when I need it. And I think it happens with men too. I think some men out there may find the same thing. Like they have a great woman. She's a provider. She ain't going nowhere. She's great with money. She gets the bills. She feeds the kids. She does everything. But, she may not be everything he desires in the bedroom. She may be attractive, but she may not do all the things he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But he don't want to leave her because he really, really loves her. And it ain't right. I ain't condoning it at all. But I feel like, on the flip side, which we're going to talk about that in the next couple of weeks, is, why men do it too. So what y'all think about that?
I think you're right on the money with that. But I think one thing that we left out, that's another thing that that's women, that are women's Achilles heel, because women, they urge for it, and that's attention. You have a lot of women who will say things that, well, my significant other, he just doesn't pay attention to me, and this guy made me feel special, or just women just like attention in general. And we've really seen that with Instagram and social media and different things like that. So that attention makes women feel good. It makes them feel like a woman. And the guy that, give them the most attention that they may find somewhat semi-attractive, they may give him around in the bedroom. And another perfect example for that, some women will risk it all for that attention. And some women compete with other women for attention. Attention is like currency with women. The perfect example was the lady that was a correctional officer over there in New York. I believe she was a correctional officer on Staten Island. And, she was she went and got a BBL, even though her husband said, I don't want you to go get that, baby. You look good as the way you are. But she went and got it anyway, and she ended up getting deleted on the operation table. And the reason why she did that was for attention from the inmates within, Rikers Island. So.
One moment, Rakim. I got a new guest coming up. Welcoming to the panel and the stage, Mr. Introvert Bariqua. Hey, Ramon.
Hey, teacher. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for popping on the panel on the show. Long time no see. Hope you're good.
Yes, yes. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to my fellas, Don Jose and the 18 letter. What's going on, guys?
Shout out to my
Good,
boy. Ramon.
All right, all
good,
right.
good evening, Ramon. Right now, it's a spring like 30 degrees here in New York.
So Jose, don't start with that. Don't start with that. I'm sure that Kichel is feeling the cold out there. I mean, she could do without it. She could do without that Arctic Nordic weather. I
But
mean,
we haven't had winter this year.
yes, you are. You're having winter. What about those storms that they were announcing? They were announcing all that kind of like weather condition, like a lot of snowing and all of that. I feel for you guys that are up north. I mean,
You
thankfully, yes, it can get a little chilly, but then I'm not having to deal with all that snow. No, no, no. I'm actually very grateful for that.
Oh, come on.
So I feel for you
We
guys
need some
that are having to
chilly
deal with
weather
that.
in our lives so we can appreciate.
I'm in my house with a flannel sweater on. It is kind of chilly. It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know that Don Jose is Mr. Freeze and he can handle all that Arctic weather, but the rest of us human beings, we can't. We can't. It can be hazardous for our health. So come on now.
So what do you
I
Yeah.
know that's how you like it.
Stay safe,
Well,
Ramon.
well, there's medicinal value in cold.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Well,
it's,
no.
it's 30
Uh-huh.
degrees here too. It's 30
Oh,
degrees here too.
oh.
But one thing I do like, I break out my winter colognes. So I like my winter fragrances.
Winter colognes. What's winter colognes? I'm over here geeking. What the hell is winter colognes? There's a
Oh,
winter
winter,
summer cologne
you
thing.
know, more the like the sweet smells that you wear in the wintertime, the ones that cut through the weather. Like I have Prada Luna Rosa Black. I got my Dior Sauvage Elixir. I got my Parfums de Marley Laden, my Nishane Hasivit. So I got quite a few. I like to wear those in the wintertime. And then you got for the summertime when it's spring and when it's warm, you got your summer colognes, you know.
Oh, you be showing off for the ladies out there in Chi-Town, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know it.
Like,
You know it.
oh, that's good. That's good.
So,
Yeah.
Ramon, have you heard what we've been talking about tonight?
Well, I can see the title, and unfortunately, because I was taking care of something, I couldn't catch the live stream earlier. Sorry about that. But when it comes to if we're going just by what the title is saying, I'll admit that the why as to the why cheating goes on the part of women. I can understand that it can be for different reasons. I mean, but they can be varied. So I didn't catch it from the beginning. So I don't know if I can say something because of my personal experience.
Personal opinion, that's fine. We'll catch you up.
Oh, okay, okay. No, but I can tell you that from personal experience. I mean, for certain women, it can only take them not being happy with the situation that they're going on, that they're into, or maybe they are bored, or maybe the things have changed with the person that they are with, and we're living in a time where more and more women are taking it upon themselves to walk out of the situation, walk out of the relationship, and even when it comes to marriages, I mean, more and more women are the ones that are initiating it, are initiating the divorce. It seems like at least these days, more and more men are actually more willing to stay there and work it out. Most of the time, when my relationships have ended, is because she was the one who didn't want to be there anymore. Now it will be easy for you guys to say, "Ah, well, you were the problem." Okay, that's fine. You want to say that? Okay, but I wasn't the one who walked out. Even with my flaws and all, I wanted to work things out, but they were they they wanted to walk out. There, it was only my whole life. There were like a couple of times, only a couple of times in my life where I was the one who broke things off. But that was because I was younger and stupid. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was the one who messed up, and I had to pay the consequences. But there were other instances in which I could try and work things out, but she was the one who wanted out. And in one occasion, then I later on learned that it was because she was monkey branching, meaning that there was a another dude just waiting for his turn. When she was with me, it was just my turn, but she monkey branched. I had that done to me, so I had to learn the lesson from that and keep moving. I mean, it was difficult. It hurt my pride. It may have hurt my ego to a degree. Yeah, it burned. It burned. But I had to learn from it, and that's as a man what I can do.
We all get burned with that feeling when we get cheated on, like that energy, that vibe we get after somebody do us dirty and we can't get them back or get our revenge or scream at them or get our closure. That energy is heavy. That energy is real like you ooh,
Yes.
like
Oh
that
yeah.
energy is real thick, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't enough push-ups and running you can do to get that steam off. And now with social media in 2023, you gotta see these people in your feed, or you gotta see these people, trying to pop up on your social media and like, oh, I gotta be reminded, or you may be close friends with somebody that knows your partner or know the situation, and people screenshotting things, throw it in your face, like, oh, guess what I saw, like it's so much extra in 2023 right now, so it just makes it even worse. So it's like, damn, like people really are cold blooded. Like it's cold blooded out here. Like people do stuff right in your face. It's just
Yeah,
so
yeah. Having to deal with social media because anything, everything that is personal can be blasted all over the internet these days. And thankfully, when I was younger, we didn't have social media like that, so it was easier to keep things more private. I mean, but I don't know how younger people can do it these days because of social media. It's so easy because people just can't help themselves but to share their personal shit on social media and put it in all out there. And, don't even get me started with TikTok because I've been on YouTube. I see all of these TikTok clips of people that are going through some mess, and instead of handling it, what do? They press record on the damn phone and they be crying all over TikTok and nobody cares. I mean, they do that for attention, they do that for sympathy instead of handling the situation, instead of dealing with the problem at hand. No, they go to TikTok to share the shit and looking for attention and sympathy, and like you want to smack them because that's not what adults do. I mean, you have a problem, you handle it. I mean, but
true.
the younger generation putting in everything on social media. I mean,
Why
like
you got
that's gonna help
shows
anything.
like Cheaters
Mhm.
with Peter Guns and I ain't gonna front. I love the show Cheaters, especially with Peter Guns. If I'm from the Bronx, New York, so I'm a Peter Guns fan. I'm Bronx raised and all of that. But y'all probably know him from Love and Hip Hop, that ratchet ass show that come on VH1. But y'all probably don't know him. I don't know, but he's the host of this show called Cheaters, and it was an old show back in the days in the '90s, whatever the case is. There's mad other hosts that was on the show. But anyway, that's like one of my favorite shows. I love to catch this show because I know they probably getting paid at this point to be fools on the show and be stupid or whatever the case is. But it's just so comical, when you see these southern people, older people, hood people, young people, on the cameras running through the scene. Like it's just so comical. But the reality of it is like we really do know in certain people relationships, people will hire a PI to follow their husband or their wife. People will really be on their social media and their email spying on their spouse or their baby mother or their husband. Some people will really go to the extremes to find out when they get that hinge, or someone drops a screenshot in ATM like, yo, I saw I would look into
Yeah.
that if I was you, girl, because we about that life. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really take it to the next level right now. They want to prove and they want to put it on YouTube. Yeah, we got your ass, nigga. We found you busted. Like people take it there right now.
Yeah. There's too much of a mess. I'm actually glad. I'm actually thankful that because I'm a little older, I don't have to deal with none of that anymore. But yeah, I do remember the name Peter Guns. I mean, I think he was an artist, but these days he does kind of like media stuff like that. And but Peter Guns is somebody who is kind of messy himself. I mean, I
Oh
understand
yeah,
that he
he
gets
told
into
me
a lot
about
of
the
drama
Creep
with
Squad.
himself.
He's a messy dude for sure. Creep Squad.
Ah, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
dude.
I've heard of him.
I mean, some people not gonna change, and his attitude and his reputation got him that spot on Cheaters. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that's the perfect show for him. But not to be disrespectful, like I mean, we all saw his business on social media and on TV, so he put it out there for us to be able to comment on it because he put it out there. The baby mothers, the kids, he put it out there for us all to comment on. So we just commenting right now, pretty much.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. But again, when it comes to the whole thing about cheating, yeah, I have shared about it before when I was younger because I was finding my way into what it was to be dating. There was a time when I was even trying to have
Mm.
something going on with more than one woman at the same time, and it ended up getting me in trouble. I've shared that before, but then again, I was younger. I was learning the
I
stuff.
did that too. I had two dudes, it went messy, it got crazy, and they had to fight and they was calling me bitches and shit, but shit happens when you're young. It happens
Yeah,
to the rest of us.
yeah. Again, it was when I was younger, and I learned a lesson from that too. I learned the lesson. I had to learn the lesson when I had that
Uh,
shit done to me, and I learned the lesson when I did it to someone else. In both situations, I can't say that I won. I ended up having to learn something because there was a consequence.
well,
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Jose. I'm sorry. You want to say something?
yeah, well, I never did that. I never had two females at the same time because first
Mhm.
of all, now I know maybe I'm a little, a little bit out of the norm, so to speak. But the problem is when you are in a relationship, you got to be able to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly from one person, and that could be a full time thing. When you have to like do that to two, three, or four different women, it gets very complicated and it gets stressful. So of course, there's always the excitement because you have two or three women and you have the variety regarding because this woman does things sexually one way, this one does things sexually another way, this person does things that the other wouldn't want to do. But the problem is, with every person that you deal with, you got to deal with everything, and sometimes it can get very messy very quickly, which is why I never dealt with more than one female at a time. Now, when I was married, my ex-wife actually had the nerve to ask my mother if I had someone on the side. So, of course, my mom got upset, and then when I found out about it, I also got upset as well because why are you involving my mother, your mother-in-law, in your stupidity? If you have an issue regarding an issue with trust, you discuss it with me. You don't discuss it with my mom. You don't discuss it with any member of my family because you're not married to them. You're married to me, or was married to me.
Facts. I want to just send a big shout out to the chat right now. There's a lot of action in the chat right now. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, mingling, talking. I'm trying to go through the chat from the beginning to the end so I don't miss nobody. So, of course, everybody here is on the panel.
Well,
Big shout out to Common Sense for Jose and Grown. There's some new people popping in at the bottom. I met Kimmy today on Third World Colombians Live earlier. Shout out to Third World Colombian. I really enjoyed your live stream today. I caught it at 5:30 for a few, and I was happy to meet Just Chilling at your live show. Thank you, Just Chilling, for coming through. It was great to meet you guys. So just wanted to say thank you guys. I see y'all, of course, Radical, I'm highlighting some comments as we talking, but just want to give you our personal shout out. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I truly agree. I just want to acknowledge their presence as well. In fact, something that just recently appearing on my platform. I just want to say, welcome aboard, Kimmy. Welcome aboard, Just Chilling, and everybody else who's in the chat for the first time.
And definitely drop your channel show times in the chat. You know, if everybody in the chat, you know, has a certain day they air live, you know, outside of the people I obviously know, like, you know, Kimmy, Irby, please drop your show times. You go live. I really appreciate that. I thank you for showing the love, and I want to give it right back to you. Let's go, guys. Rakim, what you doing? What you quiet? What you doing? You eating? It's so good to see you, Ramon. I like the avatar picture.
Ah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, I just hope that when I do a live soon, you also join me. You also come on up. I know that you are kind of like more of a busy person, and you don't have that much time. But I would like to see you. I would like to see you on a live stream. But I do have to do something soon. I mean,
I
I
would
don't
love
I
to
don't know
be
yet.
there. I won't lie. Like I was on Third World Colombians live today. I guess and I was on Third World Colombians live today. I get like super intimidated when it's like a lot of people in the chat and a lot of people on the panel. Same thing with Radical. He's like, yo, come through up on the chat. I'm like, yo, there's so many people over there. Like I'm a little bugged. But I don't know. I don't know why. Like I've been going live for a while, but like I be getting nervous for no reason. I'm like, what is that about? Like I be getting super shy sometimes, which is why I've been doing like the pre-recorded, as you guys have been seeing. Like, you know, I don't know. Like for some reason, I'm be getting jitters. Like I'm on fucking those time at the Apollo or something.
Yeah, well, because it's something kind of like similar to speaking in front of an audience. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of like more used to speaking one on one, especially me. I mean, it's a little difficult for me to hop on a live stream and there are like a lot of people. I have been on a couple of radicals live streams before, and I do have that in my mind. And because of that, I overthink what I'm gonna say,
Mhm.
and that makes me stutter my face off
Yeah,
because
I'm a
I'm
big
overthinking.
overthinker. Yes.
Yeah, I'm overthinking what I'm saying. I mean, somebody like our guy Rakim. I mean, he's more fluent. He goes into any of these bigger panels and he says what he has to say. I mean, he's better at it than I can be.
Yeah, Rakim is boisterous. You know, he is. I saw him.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah, you go win, and you argue it, and
Wow.
yeah,
I
you
think
don't know
he
what are
was.
you talking about.
I think he was
I hear
freaking on
you.
Radical
I
Street
see you.
or something. He was talking. I'm like, ooh, there go those Taurus bulls.
Yeah, he tells me what time it is. Well
Yeah.
done.
But I struggle as well, guys. It's just like what my boy Ramon said and what you say, Cashel. When you'll get nervous because you're hosting your own show. It's practically like you're hosting improv on your own television show, and you are one person cast. So like I've learned now. I think Ramon might have told me this a while ago, just to write certain things down and try to go into things that's written down and get into detail. Like if it's a subject I'm passionate about, it'll roll right off of my mind. Like me and Ramon talk about firearms relationships and different things like that, or if it's like a heated debate with like race and different things like that. Those subjects I know a little bit about. I'm not the most vocal. But one thing I love about everybody on this panel is that we have the etiquette to, let each other speak. We're all regular people, because in certain spaces, it's just people that are there to just talk just to be talking or disrupt the panel, or you have to fight for time just to say your piece. And like another thing that Ramon said too, you'll be trying to tackle something that somebody said, but somebody else will like butt in and interrupt or different things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there are certain
Yeah.
subjects that I would like for you to elaborate on your channel, because sometimes
Yeah.
you're you're on this other channel that have a whole bunch of people and they're over talking each other, and you have some like relevant things to say, but it's difficult to get a word in because so many people are going on and on at the same time. So you have a channel, you should be able
Yeah,
to
you're right.
to
You're
handle that here.
absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right, my guy, and that's why I think I may do a stream later on tomorrow. And for the future, I'm going to be just taking my laptop with me on the road. That way, when I get some my downtime, I'll go into a topic. I'll probably may do a 2-hour live stream and different things like that to cover certain things, because I think with us being mostly mature adults, it's just certain topics that we want tackled in a certain way where we're using logic and not just a bunch of people that's ranting on a live stream.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. One thing that's very important is the preparation. Even if you're discussing a topic that you are well versed, it's always helpful to prepare yourself with other mental notes or things of that nature. This is particularly true when I do my streams regarding open discussion. What I will do is I would talk, I will list maybe 10 to 15, 20 things that I would like to cover. And then and as I discussing each item, I will just make a notation. Okay, I discussed this topic, I discussed this topic. So, and that way I can maintain a conversation anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. Speaking about channels and what have you, I have a second channel, but now I'm planning to go. The main focus on the channel will be dealing with issues as it pertains to mainline Latinos, members of the Latino diaspora, because those are us that were born and raised in the United States. We have our issues, we have our dilemmas, we have our situations, which are quite different from those Latinos that were born outside the United States. So pretty soon I'm going to be coming up with that channel, and I will be discussing those issues because, one problem that exists between Latinos that were born here in the United States compared to Latinos born elsewhere is that we don't understand fully each one's issue. And this is something I have discussed on my channel last year. Ramon participated in a couple of those topics, and I think maybe Denise to a certain extent. So I'm gonna keep you posted regarding the new channel. But going back to the topic, as I stated, there are many reasons why women cheat. But I think when everything is said and done, we all need to be honest with ourselves. If we're the type of person that we know in our heart of hearts, we cannot remain committed to one person, we need to be honest and say so. I think the worst thing you can do, if you know in your spirit you're unable to remain committed to one person, and then you get into a monogamous relationship, and next thing you know, you are exercising your carnal lust on anyone other than your partner. So you owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself. If you know in your heart of hearts you are unable to remain faithful in a committed relationship.
Which is what I did for a number of years. Back in the 2000s, there was a time when I was kind of like the side dude for 3 different women back in Puerto Rico. And I was fine with that. I was the side dude. The side dude doesn't have like a primary position in a woman's life. And at the same time, I had time for myself where I could be at peace, and there was no drama because I knew my position, I knew my role, and I didn't step out of it. I was perfectly fine with it. The thing is, like, what happens what happens with certain types, and particularly with certain women, to be perfectly honest, is that there are some of these women that are the side piece, that are the side chick, but they want to be promoted into the main chick, the main into the
They're
main
promoted.
position.
I love it.
That's something that happens a lot, Kishel. You know that. You know that. But at
I
least
think I
when
just touched on that a little earlier too, Ramon.
oh yeah, okay, I didn't hear that part. Yeah, but then again, that's universal. That's a universal thing because that happens everywhere. I mean, there are women that start being the
That is for
sidekick and
sure.
they want to be promoted.
I'm gonna agree with you. That is so true. I've definitely been a side piece. Like I definitely know what that role is like, and I think I played my role good. You know, there were some situations where I didn't play my role good. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not gonna work out. Whatever case is.
Yeah,
It happens to the best of us. Some people don't know their side piece, you know, because the nigga's just so fucking good at what he does. Like she just really thinks it's just her and only her, like on some power book ghost shit. Like,
So I got a question for my boy Ramon, or even for you, Kishel. Have you ever been in a situation where, of course, Ramon, like you said, you was the side piece on the island, or certain women was like, I want to be promoted to main. When you told them that, no, I'm not. You're not. Let's just keep this thing going. Did they ever get upset and wanted to sabotage you, or Kishel, did you ever get upset and wanted to sabotage um, a guy that you might have been dealing with?
yes. Definitely in those situations, definitely wanted to. But it's like, it just creates more drama, and that's a drama situation. First off, being in a situation when you're the side piece, or someone has a girl or a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, and you're dealing with it for whatever reason, whether the 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 sex is just tremendous, or it's money involved, or it's familiarity or comfortability, or whatever it is making you go back to that person. It's just like, oh man, like how you start putting a calendar in your head, like how long I'm gonna go through this, like how long this gonna last. Like at what point, it's stressful. I mean, it again was definitely the younger years, but I think when you're younger, you got more energy to do stupid shit and explore
yeah,
and venture and figure out what you like, and learn sex too, I guess, because this is how you learn sex, what you like, what you want, and everything at the same time too. And I definitely did my best to be a safe sex person in my younger days. I was definitely a person practicing safe sex, but compared to today in 2023, when we know ain't nobody practicing no safe sex, it's a different ball game out here, which is why I feel like the whole conversation about women cheating and men cheating in 2023 is just kind of really surreal, because it's like, I don't want to call nobody baby a pandemic baby, but we've seen a lot of babies born during a pandemic. We know a lot of people was Netflix and chilling the whole pandemic. We know that's a fact. When we was on full lockdown, where curfews, when niggas couldn't go nowhere. Like you couldn't even get touchless delivery. Like when we was in that part of the world, it was like people did nothing but be in the house, drink, smoke, get high, have sex, and watch TV. Like
yeah.
we couldn't do nothing but that 24/7. So we had a lot of babies born during this pandemic because people just couldn't do nothing but do. So
Being around each other. The thing is that
on each other,
it
like
went
it's like
on
what
two.
you like. It's like, ooh, he looking good right now. Oh, she looking good right now. Like, ooh, like I never looked at him like that. I never looked at her like that. I think I may just, bzzz. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I'm just like, people out here just raw dogging it too. I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
woosah. That's the
yeah.
part that kills me, the raw dog situation. Like, I can't believe people are that comfortable to be, not only cheating, but just having unprotected sex. That's the part that's killing me.
Yeah, yeah, and unfortunately, it did went on certain instances. It went into both extremes. There were instances that there were people that were kind of having to be cooped up with each other, and they ended up having a baby, or they were cooped up with each other, and they will end up having a domestic situation where they couldn't stand with each other, and they were starting to kind of like butt heads, and they wanted to be apart for a little bit, but they couldn't, and there were some negative situations that did also came out with certain couples, that they didn't apparently they were already having issues, but at least because they had to get out of the house to work and do whatever it is that they had to do, I mean, they were able to kind of like postpone it and not having serious issues. But when they had to be under the same roof together all the time, then that kind of like exacerbated the whatever issues these couples have had, and then there were the domestic disturbance issues, or domestic violence, not necessarily all the way domestic violence, but maybe they were yelling at each other because they couldn't stand each other, they couldn't stand to be around each other all the time, uh, which is something that I would recommend for people to be able to have breaks with each other, no matter how much people in a couple they love each other. That's great, that's wonderful, but still, if they can manage to take some time, kind of like take breaks, like little breaks from each other, and put that attention onto other interests and other hobbies, and it goes back around. It goes back around to the point that you start missing the person and start wondering what the other person is doing, and you go back to the person, and it's all great and wonderful, and you enjoy each other. Um, but yeah, there was also that. Unfortunately, there were some that make the best of it, and there were others that ended up having issues because of it when it comes to the pandemic.
I'm highlighting this guy comment just chilling. He said it was hard out here cheating during the pandemic. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man, but honestly
Well,
speaking,
that sounds like just chilling.
I mean, have you ever been the side piece, Jose or Rakim? Have you, whether you known about it or of course you may have been, you may not have known about it at the time, but maybe afterwards, like, oh snap, so she had a whole man. I was the side too. Like, do you know if you guys have been a side piece?
Yeah, I've been the side piece multiple times.
Uh, oh, no.
No problem here.
He forgot how many.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that DMX song, the DMX song where he starts chanting out all the names.
Yeah.
Tamika, Inez, Melissa.
Cookie, I met her at ice cream park.
Jose, have you been a side piece?
I'll take the fifth on that one.
Well,
I'll
what
talk
do you mean
about.
you take it the fifth? You're the one who's never cheated. I mean, wait. Do we have a contradiction here?
Well, I talk about like my experiences. Yes, I've been a side piece multiple occasions, especially like in my early 20s. It was one chick I was dealing with. She had a dude, but she lived at a college dorm, so I used to travel all the way up north and kick it with her on the north side of Chicago, which was at Loyola University and everything. And I played my position. We was cool. After a while, she decided that she wanted to get serious with her main dude, so we kind of drifted apart. One situation I was in, that was in high school though, when I was talking to a chick. I don't know if you can really count that as a side piece, but she was talking to another dude, and I ended up skipping school that day. I didn't go to school, so I was at the house, and me and my boys was there. And before I know it, I hear a doorbell ring, and half the damn school is at the front of my damn house, because then he got out that I was messing with her. And like the dude, he wanted to know, was I messing with her? He wasn't on no tough guy shit or nothing like that. I was just like, yeah, bro, I've been messing with her. She get down like that. I thought you knew. And he was just like, man, he was kind of like heartbroken and everything like that. But yeah, I've been there. But as I got older, I became more serious. Once I hit like my mid-20s and like towards my late 20s, I've also experienced a similar situation to what Ramon was saying, while I was with a chick, and I had spent time with her and invested time in her, and then to have her tell me that she was interested in other dudes, or she was, if she had slept with him already, she was interested in being with another dude. That really, that energy, boy, you be feeling like, you get it's like that's one of the worst like feelings in the world. You be want to call her every name in the book. But
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
and when it comes to being a side dude, that gives a guy the best perspective when it comes as to why women cheat. You pick up on something, you learn something. That gives you that perspective. And what I saw is that there are women that will be with a guy out of a certain convenience because they gain something from it, and that doesn't mean that they are having real feelings for the guy, but they're getting some kind of a benefit. But they're bored. But the guy is boring. And the guy that they don't
yeah,
care about the guy that much. That's
structure
why
is
they will
boring.
call me.
Yep,
That's why they will call me. Like I said,
structure
I
is
will
boring.
feeling that
And
other
I,
need. Mhm.
and I think like with the one that I was with at that time, it makes you feel like the male version of that Keisha Cole song, "I Should Have Cheated," because I didn't cheat on that girl at all. I was trying to be loyal to the girl, because I'm a loyal person. You gotta do something to me to make me go in that direction and everything like that. But I think it was the fact that I was good to her and I didn't cheat, and she was used to chaos. So after a
Yeah.
while, there's certain women that are used to chaos, or if they had bad relationships, they expect that relationship, when you do something out of the norm and they're not mature enough, then they're like, why is he trying to, be all good? I want a man that I can fight over. I want somebody that I can, call. And I had multiple attempts where, it was chicks. And I don't know why is that, Cashel? You tell me, why is it when you're in a relationship, that's when women come at you the most?
They can just see that happy energy, like happy feelings in the air. They can just see the glow on you, like, oh, he happy. He got a girl taking good care of him. She feeding him. He looking healthy. He smiling every day. He got all his teeth. Oh, he happy. Let me come fuck that shit up. That's all that is.
Damn, now he got all his teeth. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. No, but because that's the thing. That's the thing. That's something that I went through a couple of times where when I was alone, I didn't have anybody. Then I was kind of invisible to other women until I will actually meet somebody, and until I will actually have a girlfriend. Then all of a sudden, all of these other women started noticing me because that's just how it goes. I was saying that to Christina like last year on a live stream that she had, and I was telling her that it makes it so easy, it's so tempting for a guy to mess around with the main woman because one tries to do good by the main woman, but then all of these other opportunities start to appear, start to come out. All of a sudden, there are women that start to get a little bit more friendlier, nicer, more approachable. They want to have chats more. You see, and one thing can lead to the other. You see, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that I have seen it happening, but
I
when I
think
actually have already somebody, it becomes easier to talk to other women. Yeah, Jose.
Yeah, I think part of it has to do is this forbidden fruit mentality. I mean, because let's keep it real. I mean, men and women are just as guilty. When we see like men, we see this fly chick with the nice curves and a nice butt and a nice breast and what have you, and she has a beautiful smile and beautiful hair. We see, that looks very
Like me, yeah.
appetizing. And for and women when they
What was that, Kichel? I
okay, well,
didn't.
that's another
Like me,
that's another discussion, right? That's another discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
And but when women, single women, see a man in a relationship and they see that there's a woman that's taking care of him and what have you, next thing you know, oh, I gotta have him. I gotta show him that I'm better in bed with him and I'm better taking care of him and whatever. So it can be kind of messy out there with the competition. So, but as
Oh
far as the
yeah.
other thing, well, that's something we could. Well, that's a discussion we're gonna have on the
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
backstage conversation.
Yeah. It's just that there are women that can be mad, competitive with each other. You know that, Kishel. I mean, when
Yeah.
when they want to show up to each other, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was trying to say. One of the things that we talked about on my live stream, on my live stream, when they go to women, when they get ready to go out and they're looking really good. That it's partially for men. But it's not only for men. It's to show up to other women and kind of like put other women in their place and let them know that they don't look as good. And I mean, and they win the competition by how much attention and validation they can get from men. They don't care about the men per se. They care about the validation that they can get and the attention that they can get from men. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's kind of like how they compete with each other. You know that. You know that,
Mm-hmm.
Kitchell.
And if you got a man at home when you about to go out with your girlfriends, and you looking real good, he like, come here. He gonna try to pipe you before you go out. Cause he worried and scared that you gonna get snatched when you outside with your girlfriend. Like, oh no, let me give her some real quick before she go out, cause she looking too good, and somebody may steal her.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Keisha. I'm not gonna lie. If you and me were in a committed relationship, and you decided, oh, I want to go out and have a ladies' night, I would be a little concerned about that because who knows what's going to be going on these ladies' nights.
I mean, I ain't going front. I mean, it depends, honestly. Like, not girl code, like not throwing the ladies out on the bus, whatever the case is. When it comes to the whole girls' night out, it depends on the age of the women we talking about. From the 20s to the 30s to the 40s, the whole girls' night out or girls having a trip out to an island or vacation or for a lunch or for a weekend. It depends on the age range. The younger the ages, the more ratchet shit is fucking happening. To be all the way fucking honest, really. So a woman in her 40s compared to a woman in her 20s, when girl trip, it's a different kind of girl trip. And yeah, in every crew of girls, there's always the freaky girl, the funny girl, the smart girl. You know what I'm saying? The married girl. There's always one of those in every sprinkle of every whatever the case is. But I feel, in my opinion, the older the women are, the more mature and calm down the trips and the little get-togethers are. But you can't take fault that in all those age ranges of groups, there's always those specific kind of friends.
Um, I have to partially disagree because I think that there's some people, no matter what their age is, they want to get their freak on no matter what.
Yeah, the age, I don't think it matters that much. I
That's
mean,
not
you
true.
have seen how Stella got her group back. I mean,
I've been on group trips with
Absolutely.
friends, and in my 20s, and we out DR, Puerto Rico, and now one of the bitches I was with was fucking and sucking nothing. TMI, excuse my French, whatever the case is. Now none of, and I didn't even know some of these girls. Like, I knew one girl on this trip, and out of one girl, the rest of the girls that came were all friends of the girl I knew. None of these girls disappeared on the trip. Nobody went missing. Nobody did nothing salacious. Nobody brought no niggas back to the hotel. Like, it was not that kind of thing. And I went on other trips with other girls who some I did know, and it was no kind of hoeing or he paid for us, so we gotta all have sex with him to stay here. I've never been in those kind of situations with any girls on any trips. And I'm talking back in my 20s and my early 30s. Don't get me wrong. Like, as of my 40s, I'm about to be 41. I haven't been on any girl trip lately, but I've been on trips with females, and it has not always been like that. Now, I ain't gonna say I haven't seen some stuff like that when I've been on these girl trips. Yes, I have. But to say that the girls that I was with was doing this kind of stuff, absolutely not.
no, and it also another thing that it doesn't have so much to do with age, but there are some of these girls that do the girls trip thing, and yeah, they're getting more all wild. I remember these girls that went to Miami. There were like two or three of them, and all of them came back home pregnant. I mean, because they were messing around and they don't know who the daddies were because that's
God,
how crazy
please.
they went. I mean, and these were young girls. They were like in their early 20s or something like that. They went out to Miami. They were living it up, quote unquote, and all of that came back up north pregnant, and they don't know from who, because that's how reckless they were. And by the same token, older women can be going into the streets to Jamaica and all of these trips to other parts of the world, and then all of that is getting exposed. Sorry to say that, but it's getting exposed because the same women that criticize the passport bros and all of that, those are the same women that are going on so-called girls trips, and either they are getting their back blown off by some other dude, by some foreign guy, or 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 they are going down on each other, because that happens too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
something that is
Woo.
not talked about. That's not
Lord have
talked about.
mercy.
Yeah, that's not talked about. But they're doing the rainbow thing on each other. That's a thing too.
Ooh,
That's why.
Lord.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Oh, say that
there's
again. I'm sorry, Ramon. I was reading the chat, responding to people in the chat. Say that again. It sounded like it was spicy the way Rakim is responding. Say that again.
Uh, no, because either they're traveling, either there are women that are traveling to other places to get their back blown off by some other dudes, foreign dudes, or these girls trips, they are going down on each other, doing the rainbow, tasting the rainbow out of each other, if you know what I mean.
I
Yeah,
feel you.
that's a thing too. It's just that that's not talked about. That's not talked about. They keep that very quiet. Maybe you have
Um,
never seen anything like that, but that's also something that is little by little being exposed to. And there are women that have made like TikTok videos about that, and they have kind of like exposed that some of these women they get so excited about girls trips is because there is a sexual element that they don't admit to.
Mm.
but Ramon, remember, we're
That's
living in
very
an
true.
age. Okay, we're living at an age where when everything goes wrong, it's always the men's fault, and it's like, oh, it's like we force these women to get engaged in writing the rooster chorus and what happened. No,
Mhm.
they decided on their own to get their own freak done and get with many people if they can and what have you, and then all of a sudden they get upset because people, actions that can take accountability for their actions or their misdeeds.
Mhm.
I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, I wanted to get my boobs done for so many years. Like I just recently got over it. Like, all right, Cashel, you accept your body for what it is, you accept your boobs, you're not getting breast implants, you're not seeing any doctors, you're not making any more consultations, you're not doing that. This is what it is. It does not matter what you want or what you feel, it's in proportion or not proportion. But I feel like, all women get kind of soaked up in that, especially, older moms or house moms, women that don't have jobs that stay at home with their kids 24/7. They kind of feel like life has passed them and they lost their youth and they want to feel rejuvenated, kind of recapture, some good times, some good memories. And that's how this whole mommy makeover shit have come into play and all these little BBL surgeries and all these, new vagina surgery. Like there's so many new surgeries, mommy makeover things they have going on that women can like, look younger, appear younger, feel more sexy, confident, whatever, whatever. And it is true, I'm a personal trainer. And there is a point where some people gotta do, they're beyond the workout phase. Working out is something they can practice, but is not going to help them achieve what they desire in their mind as far as what they feel their image should look like. That issue with some people, men and women, with the whole, muscle and like, elasticity and, all of that skin stuff. That is all true, whatever the case is. But, I finally got to the point where I'm like, what, Kashel, you love you for you. You're not getting your breast implants, I've never wanted anything else, besides that. I feel like everything else on me was good, and that's something I talked about a lot in season 1 of Wine and FaceTime. And, so a lot of my family and friends and so many people supported me like, Cashel, no, you're not getting it. You don't need it. It's not worth it. You trying to die, bitch, for this fucking shit. Like, you got ass and hips. I'm like, but I need boobs. I'm not a woman without breasts. They're like, bitch, you have breasts. I'm like, but they're so small. They're not equal to the backside. So I totally get, how some women get caught up. But the thing for me is when I feel like women just go so extreme with it, like Pamela Anderson Lee with it, like, like porno star, like lips super shiny and duck bill looking, and butt so big that even children are looking at it, and like boobs so big that no shirt can even fit it appropriately. Like, I just don't get to the point where it just gets that extreme. But I get, wanting to look more youthful, wanting to, have some life after the kids go to college, and you feel like, you look fucking 10 years older, and you've been working out and nothing's looking better, and the creams. I get all of that because I'm getting older. That may be me in 10 to 15 to 20 years. Like, oh my God, like the kids are finally over 18, because you guys know I got a 24-year-old and a 13-year-old that's about to be 14. So I gotta wait on. I'm still waiting for this 14-year-old to, grow up, go to college, get married, move out, or whatever, or stay here, whatever she wants to do. So like, I'm still waiting for her to grow up, and at that point, now I can totally focus on me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of mothers and moms feel like that. You can't really totally focus on you until your kids are out the way. And I know some men may not understand that or see that or feel that, but a lot of women feel like that. We cannot focus on us until we know our kids are good.
Well, look, you are a very attractive young lady, Keisha, and
Absolutely.
and the fact and the fact of the matter is, if the situation was different, I'm not, I have no problem saying I might reach out to you, and so to speak. But the fact of the matter is, I do have a significant other. I'm waiting for her to come over to the U.S. from the DR. But the crazy thing now, last year she actually had vaginoplasty, where she had her, what, tightened. So I asked her, well,
Oh, she's so
why did you?
lucky.
Oh, really?
I'm
Wow, you're a lucky man, Jose. Wow.
Man, got that thing rejuvenated for you, Jose.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You gonna have a ball.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Six Flags Great America.
So I
Get that
asked her,
stamina up. Get ready.
why
Get
did
ready
you
to go.
do all that? First of all,
Alexa, play Genuine Pony.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for real.
because
You
she's
have
only
to
what?
get that exercises and get that stamina up. You have to take care of business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's only like about 36 or 30. Well, she's only like about 36 or 37 years old. So she's, she's still still young. But definitely we plan to be together this year, whether it be here in New York or there in the DR.
You better go
I thought she was going to come over here. In fact, I thought she was going to come over here and experience the non-existent cold that we've been having here in New York. But that's another thing altogether. No, but definitely before the year is out, we're going to be together at some point.
That's so beautiful. Like, and again, like that's something that's new. That's some new thing happening in the last 5 to 10 years. Because back in my day, these women wasn't getting no mommy makeovers. They was pushing out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 kids and more. There was no tummy tucks. There was no BBL surgeries. Husbands and baby fathers and house husbands wasn't paying for no surgery to get mom to look good after all them kids she pushed out. This is new stuff. This is new. This was not around in the 80s and the 90s when I was coming up, because I ain't seen none of my aunties and cousins, none of my friends' aunties and cousins was getting my makeovers, and everybody in the 80s and 90s and 70s had a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah, and so in fact, I was talking with Clara about it earlier today. It's just that I want to make sure that before these years out, that we spend some time together. It's like, oh, we will. It's just that I don't want you to spend all this money, going to the DR and whatever. You say, well, I'm gonna have to go to the DR anyway, to meet her mom and her family. And of course, in the Dominican culture, the approval of the mom is very important. So of course, when I meet her mom, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous about trying to make a good impression.
Wow, I can't even imagine. I feel like I didn't have my dad in my life at the point where, the men I had children with or had long term relationships that, he was there to meet them and, do the whole grill thing. I didn't have that growing up, and I have two daughters, so I didn't get that experience. So I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
that it's going to be nerve wracking for you, because you're asking for her hand in marriage and, to take care of her and all of that. So you're about to elevate her whole life as her husband. So that's a big deal.
Hmm. And of course, if we do get married, she's going to have to get used to life here in New York and life here in Rochester, and the fact that the weather gets a little up in the winter months
Uh,
as compared to
you
over
need
there
to
in
move.
the.
You need to move to Florida. It's not fair to her. You want to keep her in that Arctic weather that you love so much. I mean, she's not used to that. I mean, she might get bronchitis or something. Us islanders don't take that cold air too well.
Wow.
First of all, we haven't had an honest winter in years. I mean, we haven't had any days when the temperature reached zero or what have you. I mean, we just had one day, maybe 2 days when the temperature was in the digits. That's not full effect winter as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm. Yeah, sure, 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 sure. Well,
Oh, well, I definitely want to wrap this up, though. I think we've come to our conclusion, which is there's many reasons why women cheat, and there's definitely no right or wrong reason why. So, any final notes or any recaps, any final words from anybody regarding tonight's conversation regarding why I spoke about your perspectives on why women cheat?
I'll just say my last final words, and like I said, it has a lot to do with media influence, the direction that a lot of the music is going in, what society is telling women. We live in a day and age now that a lot of women really do think that they're equal to men. And I'm not saying that in a negative way or anything like that. I'm just saying that in a way that, women think that they are able to move like a man move, but they don't really have the same uh, emotional EQ, as I should say, to be able to, go through different situations without being emotionally affected to the point that it's damaging to them. So, you have a lot of ladies, that think that they just gonna go around here, sleep around, do whatever, and then you have some women who got legitimate reasons because they feel like they're in an unhappy relationship. And like what we just said earlier, just come forth, speak to your significant other before you decide to go that route and see if it's anything that y'all can work on, because also that can really make your relationship beyond repair if that's something you plan on holding on to. And with a lot of people these days having a lack of emotion, um, you have to be careful, because when you find that one person that you know that's going to ride with you, it's difficult to come by again in this day and age. So that's all I got to say.
well, I want to say first of all, Kichel, I appreciate you letting me on your panel. Thanks. The other thing is that sorry that I didn't catch your stream from the beginning, but basically what I have expressed when it comes to um, even though we kind of only scratched the surface a little bit, um, there could be more reasons as to why women will step out. There could be a variety of reasons, but the list is expanding now these days, because it will be more understandable if there were kind of like a number of things that could easily be pinpointed as to the reasons why women will step out. But these days, women will step out because they can. Women will step out because there is no real consequence. If even if they're married, if they step out, okay, they step out. and they can leave. They can file for divorce because these days it's women that are filing for divorce the most, and like most of them, they're gonna claim that they had to file for divorce because they were either being abused or being oppressed or because of patriarchy. The thing is that it's gonna be the man's fault in some way. They're gonna claim it that it's gonna be the man's fault, and like a lot of them, they're gonna describe the situation like as if they were Tina Turner. I mean, like they were going through what Tina Turner went through when she was with Ike Turner. That's very minimal. The instances in which the woman was really physically under threat and really physically abused, that is the percentage of that is actually very small. A lot of the times these days is because of disagreements, things that have to do with money, or maybe because the woman isn't happy, they feel more empowered to step out and even break up a happy home. The more recent example of a celebrity, kind of like if you want to use celebrities as an example, they shouldn't be taken so seriously because their lifestyle has nothing to do with us regular people. But if you want to use the example of somebody that is well known, kind of like what happened with one of the Maury sisters. She had a happy home. She had a husband who was good to her, but she wanted to break up the home because she wasn't happy. I mean, apparently she was bored. She felt like she had been missing out on something because she had been married for a number of years, and she's not taking into consideration how is that is going to affect her children. Now, what is she doing? She's this so-called trying to find love again, and she's taking videos of herself getting drunk. I mean, is that what she broke up a happy home for? To now partying and getting drunk? Really? And now she's like doing these TikTok videos in which she's acting like a psycho, like yelling and things and talking about what she deserves. But she already had a marriage. She already have a she already had a stable, secure home, a relationship, a marriage, but she wanted to break it up because she wasn't happy or she was bored or whatever. But yeah, those are the times that we're living in. And the thing is that as a woman, these women don't lose. They don't really lose anything. They are considered to be empowered because of it. If the man is the one that walks out and breaks up the happy home, he's a deadbeat, he's a cheat, unfaithful, disloyal, whatever terms you wanna call it. That's what the man gets called. But the woman breaks up the home, she's considered to be empowered, and that she graduated from something. Like it's just uh, can't even call it something. But but that's all I got. Thanks again, Kichel. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much. Like, I agree. We just scratched the surface, so there may need to be a part three to this. I don't know how many parts, but I agree. We only scratched the surface. We didn't really talk about deep rooted things. We talked about light things. We didn't really get into it as far as how she even gets the balls to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. What really strokes her to really get there. We just talked about like somewhat superficial things, so to say. Cliche things or today's trending things. So I agree. We may need a part three to this episode. But thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you, and as well as Rakim, thank you for coming on and giving me your feedback and your viewpoints and your sense on the conversation. I really, really am happy to see you guys. I missed you guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. We missed participating in your live streams. Don't become a stranger.
Absolutely. Thank
Mhm.
you for allowing me
Yeah.
back up, Kashel. We definitely do miss your live streams, and we're looking forward to future live streams.
Thank you. Jose, last and only,
Yeah.
numero uno.
Okay, well, as I stated again, there are many reasons why women are unfaithful. Part of it is that they're not being true to themselves. Okay, there are some people who are just not wired to be in a committed relationship, and they need to be honest with themselves and need to be honest with whoever that approaches them. When everything is said and done, there are multiple reasons. However, when you do step outside a relationship, there are consequences. Those consequences are that you destroy the trust that your partner has been placing on you. Also, if you engage in reckless activity, there is the risk of pregnancy and STDs, and then you bring it home to your significant other who is an innocent party. So when everything is said and done, um, if you know that you cannot be faithful, it is best to either try to rectify the situation or to simply call it a day. That being said, Keisha, thank you very much for allowing me on my platform. I want to let everyone, particularly the ladies that are in the chat, know that for the month of March, I'm going to be discussing on uncommon sense, the achievements that women have achieved in different areas and different fields. So I would appreciate the women's participation. And next week at 9:30 on Tuesday, I'm going to be discussing the myths regarding American women. There are certain myths that was created, so I'm going to do my best to try to unravel those myths and separate truth from fiction. So, with that being said, thank you very much, Kishal, and a lot of love towards you and your platforms.
Thank you so very much, Jose. I appreciate you for coming on the panel, being transparent, sharing your story, your viewpoints, your energy, everything behind the scenes you do as well. Definitely appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a great weekend, and much love to your girlfriend as well.
Thank you. Okay, have a good night, Kishal, and have a good night, everyone on the chat. Please be safe dealing with C19. So that being said, have a good night.
Thank you. So, guys, you heard it all. It was episode 2 of Wine and FaceTime, Why Women Cheat. We had an open panel. We had people pop up and give their 2 cents, their 3 cents, their viewpoints, their experiences, on what they thought about the conversation tonight. And as we all said, there's so many reasons why women cheat. We only scratched the surface, so there may be a part 3 to this. There may be a part 3 to let's dig deeper. Why this has happened with women? I'm so excited for all the people that popped in the chat. Special shout out to Just Chillin'. Special shout out to Kimmy Dion. Special shout out to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Special shout out to the Radical Latino. Special shout out to Introvert Bariqua. Special shout out to the 18th Flutter. Special shout out to Irby Fatal. Special shout out to Montana Wags. The 18th Letter. I think I said his name twice already. Just want to make sure I'm recapping everybody who came through and showed love in the chat, who jumped on the panel. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, Third World Colombian, special shout out to him. I was on his live stream today. Great show, great series. Definitely check him out. Like and subscribe to his channel. Please like and subscribe to everybody's channel on the chat. It's been such a real night. Happy weekend. Hope all is well to you guys. Thank you for vibing out with me. Shout out to all my new subscribers and day ones. You guys have gotten me all this far, and thank you guys for just holding it down, popping in, being consistent with me when I'm consistent, when I'm doing my pre-recordings. It's all so much love. I want to make sure at the end of the day, you guys like and subscribe to my channel. Like, I'm trying to get that algorithm going. I really, really appreciate that. And this is it. And that's all regarding tonight's Wine and FaceTime, Why Women Cheat Part 2. So look forward to a Part 3, maybe coming soon. But next week, you will hear me talking about why men cheat. That's next week's conversation. I'm going to do how I do. Following next week, we'll have another open panel. Well, why men cheat. We'll have men come up, women come up, and they'll spit their 2 cents and 3 cents like tonight and say why they feel, men cheat. So again, big shout out to everyone. Day 1 subs. Really, really appreciate you guys. New subs, people who just shoved to my channel because they like the shorts. and they got referred to me because they know somebody. Shout out to you guys too. Here's an ad from me, as I always do. Peace, love, and joy. Be safe out there. Have a
Okay. I work out all the time. I can do lots of different moves. Have never been able to do one full push-up.
Push-ups are the best way to start your day.
I will try one standard push-up.
It's not the best push-up, but I can get down and get back up.
It's been real. Peace out, y'all.